Hi beauties, welcome or welcome back to Aloft Aloft. Today we're going to talk about some of the items that I feel, and I'm going to say I feel because they're completely optional, but we're going to talk about some of the items that I feel are a must-have with dip powder. So let's get started. First thing you want to do, now most sets do provide the powder as well as the liquids. However, not all sets will provide a nail file, a fluffy brush or stiff brush, or a cuticle pusher. So before you start dipping your nails, one thing you want to make sure is that your cuticles are clean. Anytime you fail to clean your cuticles, you take a risk on causing lifting on your nails as they grow. So the first thing we will start with is Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover. This comes with a squeeze top, so it makes application very easy. And all you do is just take it around your cuticle line on each of your fingers. Now the instructions say to let it sit for 15 seconds. I've done a review on this. I'll link the video above as well as in the description box. You need longer than 15 seconds. It does work. Don't get me wrong, it does work, but you really need longer than 15 seconds. Now the next item in regards to prep will be your cuticle tools. And this little set comes with these three, which are good for prepping cuticles as well as removing your dip powder. So once you apply the Sally Hansen, then you would just go through and scrub any of the invisible cuticle, and then you can just take this and go across it to clean it out. And then you can follow up if you want to clip them. Some people don't like to clip them, but if you want to clip them, then you can just go through and clip all of your cuticles. So these are the main items that you would need for prepping. Now after you've prepped your nails, you're going to need to clean them, of course, to remove all of the residue as well as the oils on your nails. So one of the things that you can use is isopropyl alcohol, or you can also use 100% acetone. Either one of these are good because they will dry out any oils that are on your nails. You don't need oily nail beds because, once again, that will cause lifting, and you don't want to spend all this time doing your nails only for them to lift or pop off a day or two later. The next part of your nail prep that you're going to need is a buffer. As you can see, this buffer and nail file is well loved. But I will show you what a new one looks like that I have not used yet. And it has, you can hear that, it has a gritty feel. And this is a 100 to 180 grit nail file. I will also link these items down in the description box because I bought these as a set of 12 and they last a really long time. Now let's say you purchase a dip powder but it didn't come with liquids, or you purchase a dip powder kit and you don't like your liquids. Well, one brand that I would recommend that is inexpensive, has quick drying time, and I haven't had any issues of stiffening brushes or gooey liquids, are Lavender Violets. They sell the kits, which I've done reviews on their kits as well. They have really great dip powder products, but they sell the kits as well as their liquids. They sell the liquids separately. And as I said, they dry really fast, especially the top coat. you put one layer on your nails, by the time you go to do a second layer, by the time you finish the last finger on your first layer, it's dry. Now, let's say you are a person that loves to change your set every few days or once a week. UNT Pill Base is a great option for you. It's called UNT Ready for Takeoff Pill Base Coat. And most of these items that I'm showing you were purchased from Amazon. There will be a few where I feel other stores have better prices, so I'll also leave those links down below. But most of them are available on Amazon, but everything will be linked down below. Now, this product, you put it on either your natural nail, or you can apply it on top of your clear powder. Now, there is a learning curve to this, to where if your application, you have to find the application that works perfect for your nails, because sometimes it can pop off in a day, sometimes it can not pop off after 2 weeks, but it just depends on your nail. So there's a trial and error basis for this. Okay, now we're coming back to the nail file set, because this not only works on your natural nail, it's great for dip powder as well, to smooth and buff out your nails. In addition, another great tool to use is a glass cuticle file. And you just use this to go into the curve of your nail to get a good, clean shape along the cuticle line. If you struggle with this, sometimes I use this and I just file along the line. However, if you struggle with this or don't want to damage your actual nail, then you just use this and go along your cuticle line. And this is a rough edge, and then this is a smooth side. When dipping your nails, it is easy to get product all along your cuticle if you're not careful with your application. So if that happens, one thing you can do is take a dotting tool or even a wooden cuticle stick. I've used a combination of these items. As you can tell, they all have dip powder at the end. But all you do after you dip, you just carve out along your cuticle line. So this actually surprised me recently. I like the Sally Hansen Vitamin E. I don't know if you can see that. I like the Sally Hansen Vitamin E Nail and Cuticle Oil. Initially, I purchased this from Walmart, so I was going to give you guys a Walmart link, but I went back and purchased a second bottle just to keep on me, and the price at Amazon was actually less than the Walmart price. So I don't know if it's just the time of the year or if they're running a special, what's going on, but I'm going to leave the link to both of those down in the description box so you can have a choice. But this just comes with a very handy little brush, and you just take it along your cuticle line like so, and then you rub it in, and it dries really quickly. When it is time to remove your dip powder, or even your gel powder, your gel polish, But when it is time to remove, this is a great option as well as this. You can see this bottle is kind of empty, and it's different in color because once I use it, I just pour it back in and let it settle. But this is the one that I use mostly. It's the one that has coconut. And one of the most important parts to pay attention to, is the first ingredient. You always want to make sure the first ingredient says acetone. But as you can also see, this has oils in it instead of it being 100% acetone, which makes it easier on your skin as you're soaking. But I've been made aware that some of them have water as the first product, and that one isn't as strong and doesn't work as effective. And it causes them to spend more time soaking if their nails even come off at all. So always make sure that your first ingredient is acetone. So this is one option to take your nails off. This is the second option. And all you do with this is how the product looks. It's not contaminated. This is actually how it looks. It comes out a bit goopy, and you just brush it on each nail. You let it sit for a little bit, and then you come back with this same cuticle set, this tool, and you scrape it off. Or you can take your 100% acetone, apply it to a paper towel or a cotton round, and then you rub it off a little bit to loosen up the product. But still, you'll go back in and you'll scrape it off. So that is your removal options. Let's talk tools. If you want to do a French dip set, you will need, of course, you can always dip directly into the jar. However, if you want a more sturdy application, something to rest your hand on, you will need a French dip tray. This has a two-side application. This has a two-side application with a little divot in the middle. So you just go here and you just dip down into the powder. If you're thinking of doing the ombre look, this Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush is a good purchase. And all you do is dip into the powder and you just blot onto your finger till you get the desired look that you're going for. Now, an easy way to clean this brush instead of having to wet it, especially if you're using multiple colors, is to use a makeup sponge, a cleansing sponge. And all you do is you just tap the brush. My brush is clean right now, but if it were dirty, you would see product come out, and you just rub it around, tap it. You can also use it when you're cleaning your fluffy brushes in between dips to clean out the excess. So it's worked for multiple items. Now, another great tool to have are swatch sticks. My swatch sticks came in a large pack of 150. They come with these rings for every 50 count. So it makes it easier to keep up with them. There's multiple things you can use these rings for. These are a little dusty because I use them to dip into the dip powder and slowly put it on my finger. You can also use them to test out your colors to see what the true color is, because colors tend to change from the jar, and I dip on the underside. But you can also use them to get the true color of your dip powder. as well as use them to test out designs before actually applying them to your nail. One important thing to note is while doing your nails, accidents can happen. I've learned it the hard way. Acetone tends to leak through. If you're working with wood, granite, you don't want to damage those surfaces. Again, accidents can happen, especially with working with acetone, soak off, all of those type of liquids. So one good thing to invest in are mats, such as these, or even a bigger mat, such as this one. Don't be like me and learn the hard way. This is the result of acetone leaking through my towel, and I'm not realizing it until after I go to raise up the towel and it's stuck to the table. So these mats are great options. This black one is really good. I like it. However, everything sticks to it, so it's not really great when I'm filming. So that is why I tend to use these color mats, and plus these are just easier to grab, go, rinse off, and come back. These come in a set of 3. Just 5. These are the extra large. Then my black mat is actually this little guy by Dog Buddy. Another tool that I wanted to show you, which I'm sure you saw when I was doing the whip tray, because I think it makes a huge difference. Even with overhead lighting, I have great overhead lighting. However, sometimes I just need extra light. This is what I'm currently using. I'm going to show you light off. Light on, and then the different but this is the desk lamp that I use, and it just clips on to any table, desk, wherever you decide to use it. Here are all the items that I've mentioned in today's video in case you want to take a screenshot. Again, everything will be linked down below in the description box. As always, thanks for watching.